Well, we're open, hopefully open for business. Hope the sound isn't too bad for you as the air conditioning is going on there. Virtual happy hour, day number 41. We got a lot to unpack here. If you're hearing me, it's a thumbs up. Hope you're hearing me. And I'm going to give you guys also the link if you'd like to join me on the show as well as we pull the open sign down because we are open and it's time for a virtual happy hour. And I do believe you are hearing me. Is that right? Thumbs up. You're hearing me. That's a good thing, I believe. So good. We're doing some. Now I'll get to that in a moment. First off, bring the happy hour sign down as well. There we go. Glad you're logging with the screen. It's kind of a pull that down, but I'll leave it there for the time being. Glad you're logged. Virtual happy hour, day number 41. Yes, some parts of the country. Texas being one of them, did have a soft opening, we'll call it today. Was not out myself. My wife did go out, ventured out for a short time. I did venture out yesterday, the day prior, but a lot of eyes are on this state today, the next 3 weeks, to see how things are going. And I will say off the top, my prayers and my thoughts are nothing but positive because we've got to make this work. If it doesn't work, there'll be a lot of, I can't imagine the repercussions if it doesn't. So regardless of what I think personally, I'm not a big fan of being out and about. I'm not a big fan of going to my favorite restaurant and packing them in today. That being said, the only way we're going to get closer to playing baseball and getting back to some normal, which is my life, is by going forward steps, whether it be baby steps or not. So good to see Mom out there again. I had a couple thoughts about this. I just shut this thing down, and I'm going to kind of talk around it why I'm not going to shut it down. I'm going to keep this thing going because technically we're still in a stay-at-home, not so much a stay-at-home order, but it's encouraged for us to be isolated in limited social settings as well. Hey, Connie, good to see you. Even movie theaters, while they are open, it's 25%, which what does that mean? If you're a big theater of 500 people, it's not going to be full capacity. Even the biggest restaurants in this city, which is a city known for its restaurants, are going to be at smaller capacity. As a matter of fact, the steakhouses in town sold out with their reservations, which most of them from about a 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock sitting. Most big steakhouses here in Dallas, Fort Worth, both the Metroplex, 100 reservations or so they'll go through at a given night. And those are all gone because there's not 100 reservations available. Most are looking at about 35 or 40 reservations. And if you've got 40, several hundred regulars, well, a lot of demand out there. So there's some good and some bad in it. The high-end folks seem to be doing well. We haven't seen a lot of reports yet. I do know that my wife will be watching the news, and she'll probably fill me in a bit later. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. A lot of eyes are on us. And it goes back to what I said. What am I going to do about this show? Do I want to just put it on ice because we're done with the official state order? No. Because, again, we're still my wife's still teaching at home. The daughter is still doing finals online. Our church is still meeting online until at least the 18th of May, and if not longer. Again, and as like I said last week, it depends on where you live, what you do. There's so many variables in this thing, regardless of blue state, red state, whatever. A lot of variables involved. But as far as this show's concerned, I'm using it as a chance for me to get better at my craft, work on my craft. I've not broadcast a game since January, late January in Australia. Prior to that, my season ended back in September. I don't broadcast basketball or football, which I will work on in this time off. Some of the things I will be working on a little bit. And I also work on some of these crafts as well, these social media platforms, some visual things. That's one reason you may notice today the camera's a little bit of a different angle. I'm using a different camera today than I've used in the past. I've actually got a little bit of audio stuff coming to maybe enhance the audio. Right now, the audio is not where I want it to be. You're probably hearing some things that I'm working on solving those issues as well. Just some improvements, more graphics, things of that nature, things I can work on now as in this, for at least for my business, a furloughed situation. Good to see everybody out there waiting for the chat to come up here. I'm going to pull this down just for a moment, but I'll bring it back up in a moment. Kevin, yeah, got those toes in the pool at some point. Yeah, we do. And still living on it. Kevin, I heard Kevin is a co-host of This Week in the American Association. Of course, you guys have seen Kevin here on the show. He's in the Twin Cities, just south of Twin Cities, about 40 minutes or so south. And he in Minnesota. They're under a different situation than what we are under here in Texas. And every state's different. But I thought your podcast today, I listened to it while I was walking this morning with you and Rob Paneer, was great. Great content, great speculation. And Kevin also reporting today some very interesting things as far as baseball going north of the border and what may happen in different cities and things like that. So, but as far as this show, we're going to keep rocking and rolling Monday, Wednesday, Friday for at least until I go back to work. And even then, who knows what I'll do then? It'd be hard to have a happy hour show on a Friday when I've got a game at 7, but maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But right now is to cross the bridge right here. Good to see Berta out there as well. But and again, a couple reasons why. It's been a bit of a tough week around here. I'm not going to lie to you. You guys are friends of mine. You guys are family members of mine. It's been a tough week. Usually today, the May 1st date, which would probably be Monday, I would be heading to Kansas City and counting down to about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks into the season starts. But basically, I'd be getting in season mode. I'd be moving into my summer home, getting my office ready, going through my checklist of what I needed to get ready for the broadcast, and really getting in the season mode, which to me is a total different animal. But it's it's like anything, any business we do. You have your certain way you do things, and I have my certain way of doing things as well. So that would usually be going on. That's not going on yet. We've not made an announcement yet. The American Association still plans to play baseball at some point. That's good news, probably from July to September, but that's not been announced yet. There's been no schedule. I would imagine the next 3 weeks it'll become much clearer what that situation will be. I'm very positive we'll play baseball. I feel very strongly we'll play baseball, which means I'll have a job this summer. But currently, I have no job. I am basically furloughed. While others can go back to work today and wait on tables and whatever, I am not going back to work tomorrow or Monday or anytime soon, at least for a month. I still work with the ball club. I'm still very much in tune, but I've got to do some shuffling of what I do for the ball club going forward. And we're just going to be watching for that. You'll see a lot more T-Bones content on my own personal channels. But it's something I wasn't looking forward to. I know it's something that was a possibility. Going to hit us hard in the house here because as any family, we have a budget. We count on the husband being able to pull his share. And suddenly, the husband can't pull his share. And again, this all goes back to what I keep saying. It affects us all. It doesn't matter if you're a nurse, ditch digger, or whatever. We're all being affected here. It doesn't make any difference. And like I said earlier, a couple weeks ago, we're all essential in our own roofs. So under my roof, I'm essential, regardless of what people think about my business, what I do for a living. I'm essential, just like everybody else out there is essential, because it's essentially how we pay our bills. So that's where we come from. And with all that in mind, that's why I'm going to keep doing this, because I have a chance to get better and better as a host, work on little things, not so much the hosting part. I do this cold, unprepared all the time. It's not that the personality, I do that. That's something I've been gifted by the Lord. But little technical things I can work on going forward. It'll be an investment. It's going to, I don't have much money to invest now. I'm not making any, but I have to get better. And to get better, I'm going to have to make an investment and just kind of throw up some Hail Marys there and hope that it'll get okay in the end. We're a family of faith, and we have faith that we're going to come through it. But so that's why we're going to do this. Why I'm going to keep it going, regardless, because each state's different, each country's different, and we're still all in the same boat. Because until they say, hey, you can walk the street without being 6 feet apart, that's the world we live in right now. So basically, that means until we have a cure, a vaccine, or whatever you want to call it, that's the way it goes. Now, Uh, come work with me at the liquor store up in Minnesota. I don't know why my chat's not up there. Let me see why it's. It takes a while for it to get going sometimes. But Kevin says, come work with him. Uh, you know, and again, all of this, I want to be clear here. I do have a job. The finances of the job have changed, which has probably affected dang near all of us in some form or fashion. So, I'm not sure what that was, but somebody behind me there. Oh, the wife is coming out. So, what?
I put my drink in a fancy glass.
Oh, well, good for you, babe. Very good. So that's where we come from right there. So again, my wife will join me in just a moment. Be careful with that wire, sweetheart, because do not plug that because we're on. Why the? I'm gonna try it again and see if it will come up when I do this. But for some reason, the chat's not coming up, so I can put up the screen for you guys. So I'm not sure why that is. But again, we'll be doing some fun stuff like today. It's a little thing for me, but using a different camera, and that's kind of exciting to know that it works and that it probably you don't notice to your naked eye, but for me, the camera is a better quality. So it's kind of fun with that. So I know that it'll work in this system. So it's little nerdy production things that I'm working on that I could kind of have some fun with. Is the dog is, what's he doing? Okay, he's all right. Dog and cat are outside. We're out the patio. Again, I'll get the chat for you guys. If you want to join the virtual green room, there it is. We can get you on the show. I don't have a lot of topics today, except, again, it's the opening, soft opening of the state of Texas. And I'm not, again, this is not a red state, blue state thing for me. We are, and if anybody knows me, I tend to lean, my wife and I are conservative types, and we are still staying locked down. So we will venture out here and there, but we're being cautious. And for many reasons, but for me anyway, I would hate to get the green light to go to Kansas City and broadcast and be down here sick. So that's also part of it too. But a lot of that, Ryan Hyatt, get out, see him out there as well. A chat's not coming up. But so how is everybody doing coming out of the first day here in Texas? For you Texas folks, how you doing? Did you go out today? Did you go to lunch? I saw a dear friend of mine was on a patio having a cold scooter. I saw Ryan was talking about scooters earlier today on his show. The cold scooter, the patio, that may be the better place to be, kind of outside, distancing on a patio. I spoke with a dear friend of mine on Wednesday who was actually going back to work today as well down in Lower Greenville. And so I know I'm looking forward to checking in with him a bit later on to see how he's going. And it's that time of the show, which we always enjoy, where we take you to Indiana to see how things are going there, as we will count down live, and we'll bring my wife on in a moment. Mom, are you there? Can you read me over?
Over and out. I look like the old broad that I am. No makeup. My hair is combed, but
yeah, you resemble that remark, Mom. What's wrong with you?
I resemble that remark. Yes.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Well, I'm still I'm in my night pajamas. I'm going to have to change. I didn't change into day ones.
It's pretty funny that you say that. I was talking to my father-in-law, John West, yesterday, and he said, and I'm kind of paraphrasing. There was a computer meme or something he sent out, and it had it was the debate that people are having now. They have their daytime pajamas and their nighttime pajamas. They just change pajamas. You got your ones you sleep in, your ones you walk around the house in, and you just kind of go from pajama to pajama. Are you doing that, Mom? Go pajama to pajama?
Well, I kind of do. I did, but not today. It's going to be a 24-hour swing here. But I've done absolutely nothing today. But I'm really glad. I'm telling you, I think I saw Connie's post. She's saying you are essential. For Connie and I, people like Connie and I, you having this to look forward to means a hell of a lot, to put it bluntly. Excuse the Southern Baptist.
I have a future in entertaining you guys, so that's good.
Right,
that's
you're our mental health.
Hey,
here's what you are.
Yeah, well, that's good.
You're our MHO.
Okay, well, that's good.
Do you know what that means?
Mental health
officer.
Officer. Okay. Well, I'm going to be Usually when I say officer, it's how fast was I going? But okay, officer, that works fine with me. So
anyway,
all good. So that's mom. Mom is up in Indiana. How are what's the deal up there? Now I read today while we're talking about Texas, this soft opening. It's a weird deal. You're about an hour and a half, 2 hours east of Chicago, but I did see where over toward in Indiana, where Indiana-Illinois border on the south side of Chicago, that the laws in Indiana are kind of lightening up, but the laws in Illinois not so much. And the Illinois folks are getting a little rambunctious. How are things in Indiana? You guys rambunctious? How's the law in the state of Indiana?
Connie may know more about it than I do. The governor just put out something today, or was in the process of. It's a slow mo. It's there's a percentage that I don't know. I haven't really had time to look it up and digest it. So I don't think we're as far ahead or going to be as aggressive as Texans are up here. I think they're going to be a little more. We've had a lot.
Well, of course not. Of course not. You're from Indiana. You're from Indiana, but you're in Indiana. It's nowhere near as aggressive as Texas is. I mean, we did.
That's right.
After all, we did fight. We did have our own independence war. So I mean,
and of course,
we did do that.
We had the vice president in our state. I don't know, today or yesterday, looking at a ventilator plant, GE or something like that, down in Indy. So we've had him in the state. So that kind of delayed Holcomb getting, our governor getting things together. But I don't know. It's going to be a slow movement, but it probably slower than down south. But and I haven't had time to digest the information. I've been busy. I've got to write all of our donors and thank them, and I'm not asking for money, but I've got a big mail out I've got to do letters for. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Besides playing all the slots on my phone and crossword puzzles.
I have a question for you on that, Mom, because I know my mom loves to. She likes to once in a while hit the casinos, and most of the time she's had some pretty good success at it. Now, when you're doing the virtual casino, Mom, you're doing this whole on your phone or device. Do you make money at this? Can you make money at this, or is it just for funs and giggles?
You usually, to get the app, you usually have to pay like $3.99 or put some money into it. Well, but conservative me, I'm up to one of the slots. I'm up to $1 billion, but you don't get any of that. But those are points that I use, and I haven't bought any. I play 4 slots, and I haven't bought any since I started them several years ago. So, see, I'm a cheap. They're probably going to kick me out because I don't buy more points.
The first thing they do when this thing lifts up there in Indiana, they're going to come and pick you up in like those Hummer limousines. They're going to make sure you're there. They're going to make sure, because you're like the regular steakhouse folks in Dallas that are right now, going to be going to dinner tonight. You're going to be the first one. They're going to come pick you up and bring your tail to the casino. So don't worry, Mom. You're all fine. They're not going to kick you out. They're going to welcome you with open arm. Come on back. Here's your. They'll probably put a couch down in front of your favorite machine.
Well, let's see. Now
I'm looking forward to going with you too.
I've got a lawyer in my favor now.
Wow, what'd you do? Did you do something wrong?
She doesn't know it, but a new member of our board, he's a lawyer, and his wife is the lawyer for the Four Winds Indian casinos. And of course, they're all shut down. So he's a young man, but his wife is young, and she's a lawyer too. So see, now if I get in trouble, I've got my own lawyer. So there you go. You're set.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sam says Indiana casinos remain closed for a while. Indiana is going slow-mo. Kevin says beats Minnesota no-mo. That's funny. Good to see Lori out there. Lori works in the travel industry. Hope things are well with you guys there at Southwest Lori. Kevin, I want to see Chris Brown. Good to see you. Jody up in Kansas City as well. Good to see you guys. Connie says, Mama, I should be just empty our purses in the parking lot and say, yeah, there you go. There's what Connie says. You guys just go to the parking lot, empty your purses, and save time. Why even go to the casino?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to hang up so somebody else can come on.
I'm not going to bring the wife on. Okay. Well, be good, Mom. Love you. There we go. Mom Kim.
Don't say
All
anything
right.
bad about me. I'll be there.
All right. There we go. Mom cam right there. She is in Indiana, and we'll bring that off. Sorry, guys, I'm not getting this. Today, for some reason, the chat's not coming up on my computer. Don't know why. The mics and things are working. The camera's working great, but so I'm looking at the chat a little delayed here. Usually, I can put the chat up on the board, at least on the screen for you guys, but I'm not able to do that. But if you want to join us like Mom did, there's your guest line right there. Just go to that link, and we'll put you. And let's hope that the screen will pop back up again for you guys, because again, it's I'm not seeing it on Facebook Live. So I don't know if you guys are lost videos. You guys have lost the video apparently. That's what it says. So
Yeah.
lost video. Boy, this is not good.
There you are.
Can we be back? Okay. I don't know what happened there, but for some reason the video dropped. So this new camera apparently wasn't great. So it's garbage. So this will be, we'll toss this in the trash afterwards, and we'll go back to the old route. I'm bound and determined that maybe the final day we're in quarantine, I'm going to get this damn thing right for once with some high quality broadcasting, not this crap that's been going on. So I'll have to actually plug here and bring the wife in, because she's going to come in and take over the conversation here. Let's unplug.
Take over anything.
Let's take this. There we go. So I hope the audio is audible, but I might turn you that way, sweetheart. Here we go. Because the air conditioning is blowing and going over there too hard, but you got to stay in the camera.
I'll
shot.
stay in the camera.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're not. What are you doing? You got to kind of be leaning forward there.
Wait.
Okay. There you go. There we go. So when you did venture out today, what did you see when you ventured out? Granted, it was a pet store, but what did you guys see?
We went to the pet store. Did you tell them the sad story?
No, I didn't.
Caroline lost her fish today.
I mean, I wasn't much. I've already told them I was basically unemployed. I wasn't going to tell them that, so I didn't want to tell them more
Furloughed is
bad
not
news.
the same thing.
I didn't want to give them more bad news.
Although the whole unemployment thing is a disaster. Anyway.
No, it's terrible. But
No,
anyway,
it's bad because I think I did something wrong, and I don't think you can go back in and amend it. So I texted Matt Perry and said, "What do I do?"
why would you tell that on personal? This is a personal show. This is not
personal. It is personal.
No, but we don't do that. Come on.
Well, he'll die. Anyway, the fish died today. That was where I was going.
It had nothing to do with any of that, but you guys, glad you're along. Good gracious.
Oh, good. Ryan's coming in. Yeah, the fish died today. Caroline was heartbroken. He died like, right before she was going to take her final, and so we went to Petco to get a new fish. And I was happy to see there were very many fish to be adopted. People have already sort of rescued all the fish.
Ryan, do you have a scooter? Wait, hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, buddy? Let's try. I'm having all kinds of trouble here. Can you hear me? Yes? No? No, hold on. Let's try this real quick. Boy, this is a total disaster. Let's try this real quick here. Let me fix this. There we go. Let's try that.
Hearing you.
No? There we go. I got you now.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. It was a little low. We're slow from our end because of the noise outside. I get to move up.
There we
Did
go.
you have a scooter? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, he can hear you.
Yeah, but
he's freezing up.
no,
Oh, yeah, he's got one.
He's got a cold. Let me see if I can fix this real quick here
Might have had a
from our end because I'm having. Yeah, it's just from my end. Hold on, just a second here. Let me fix this audio thing right here. And
live broadcasting, live TV, everybody.
He does this. He's a good problem solver.
well, it's not exactly what I'm supposed to do, but okay, there we go. It's better. I'm having a hard time hearing because our air conditioning is so loud out here. We don't have headphones on, and I didn't order some proper equipment today, so that's not helping us at all. But Ryan, I'll try to hear you. But how are things in Lubbock? Did you guys venture out
got
today?
out a little bit after the show was over. Went downstairs where our station is located. They've got a big Mexican food restaurant there, so we met one of my clients and hung out on the patio, and it was really strange and odd to be around people eating, and everybody was looking at each other like, "We cool? Everything okay? I ain't wearing a mask. You ain't wearing a mask." And then a guy I know walked in, and we stuck our hands out and started to shake hands. Then he's like, "Are you okay with that?" And I'm like, "I'm a Texan. Damn it, shake my hand." It was a good day.
Yeah, it looked like. I mean, I know it's different depending on where you're at, but I mean, I didn't venture out today. Well, okay, we're good. We lost the air conditioning. That's good. We'll be able to hear you better. Thank you very much, GM, producing on the fly there. But yeah, the hand. But I was actually, this happened to me in Belize weeks ago. I was on the beach. Baby, you have to move over closer to me. I was in the beach in Belize and I met this guy from Dallas. And I reached out to shake his hand, and he like.
Yeah.
The old, wait, you got to fist bump each other. I mean, mind you, I was in Belize, in a country that had no cases, and we were at a isolated beach that you had to take a boat to get to. So the virus to get there had to really want to get there. And this guy was like, "You thought I'd have the plague."
I think the weird thing is, and I just wanted to hop on and say, hey, and again, tell you how much I enjoy what you're doing. And I love seeing the interaction, like you mentioned, different people that you've come across in all your travels. I think it's so cool what you're doing. But yeah, we're all in this weird stage right now of how do we interact with even people we know, even, friend, and then there's.
But he's right about that. But we is our internet, babe?
No, because your mom's still on.
Just get better reception down here. Well, I get what he's saying though. I totally get what he's saying, and he's right on that. It's. And Mom even said that's kind of something we all need, and we're gonna keep doing it. We keep doing it. Again, I'm gonna get it to work eventually where it won't be such a disaster. But I'll let Mom come on and say hi to my wife, since she is over here somewhere, wherever she was. She was here.
Maybe it's a Be Live thing that dropped him off.
It's not Be Live. It's Dan Live. It's the operator, but I think she's gone now. But yeah, I cut off. But I got it though. But Ryan, I appreciate it. But I get what you're saying though. And I appreciate it. I don't know what the internet actually is pretty good today, and
Yeah.
it just I don't know what it is today. And I may again. This is something I also try. I can also there's some OBS. There's no soft. I use a couple of softwares too, really, to do this. And this is the one I use. That's better for guests. getting people on. The other one I use is better for production, but it's hard to get guests on. So you can do it, but it's just it keeps freezing up, connection issues. Yeah. Ryan says, what?
Mom's on. Is this a new camera?
It's not new. We've had it. But
Oh.
let's try Mom again. Let's see what she's up to again, because she wants to. Mom, can you hear us?
Yeah, but I can't hear you on Facebook. I don't know what I did when I went back. I went back. So you don't have to put me on live. I can
No, but
hear you.
my wife wanted to say hi to you. She
Oh,
wanted
hi,
to say
Gabrielle. Yeah.
Hey.
Don't I look wonderful?
she wanted to say hi to you. So that's all.
Okay, well, I didn't want to take
Did you
up
hear about the fish passing?
I heard that.
What? Try it again, babe.
I heard that. So did
Yeah,
you?
rough day.
Yeah, but she did well in her final, she
So-
thinks. So that was
That's good.
a plus.
That's good. And did she get another fish?
Yes.
It's green. It's really pretty.
Ugh. That
What's
green
the name?
parrotfish or something?
The fish's name is Puck from Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, I got you. Well, that fish is going to be highfalutin.
Two literary nerd people, Actually, Caroline was the one who said it needs to be Shakespearean. And I'm like, okay.
Oh,
So I was thinking Iago. I was going the evil route because, and she was like, no,
And I was
we need a
thinking,
fun one.
who's Shakespeare?
You were not.
Who's Shakespeare?
oh,
You
good
could have named
grief.
him Falstaff or something.
Well-
He's genius.
Well, you put
Falstaff's an old beer.
put Ryan back on, and you just bump me. But this is the only
All right.
way I can get you. So just close me out.
All right, all good. All good. We're going to mute you and let you go back to the green room, Mom, and where you belong, in the green room. Okay, so, yes, I didn't get a chance to tell that today but yeah, it was, it is
She was heartbroken.
heartbroken. The youngest has one of those fish called
Beta.
fish, and she
He
does,
had a double-tailed.
and she has a, I'm going to bring Kevin on in just a moment. She really has a cool setup and a neat little,
Deluxe accommodations for the fish.
it's like the Ritz of fish
It is.
accommodations.
It's Beverly Hills up there.
Very nice, and she, really, and it's kind of gotten to the point when she was in Italy, even we were kind of used to the whole
Fish routine.
the fish routine and hearing the noise in
The
there.
dog loves it.
The dog loves it, and the cat's sort of interested, not too much, but yeah, that was a tough day today. And Ryan says, my point was none of us knows what's going on, and we all making it up, so we all go along so cool. Yeah, we're especially making it up here on this show because this is about probably, if there was like some kind of award for the worst possible show, then they could put it like on
That's not true.
like Saturday Night Live. This would be the one they'd make fun of this guy. But
That's not true.
nice hat on the screen here. We're gonna bring him on. Coming up to you from a very
Cowboy.
lockdown in Minnesota. Are you surviving lockdown, Mr. Kevin Luco?
I thought, in honor of Texas seeing the light and trying to get back to a normal life again, I thought, you know what? Gonna dig the cowboy hat out or the hat out of the closet and salute to everybody down in Texas.
You did well, my friend. You did well. By the way, I was mentioning earlier that I really enjoyed the workout this morning with you guys podcast in my ear, and really good stuff from baseball. So your little scuffling going on. It's not scuffling, that's probably a bad word, but little dramas up there in Minnesota right now.
Tell you what, the Lions have never been divided like they are right now. You got, I'm gonna just say it. It's red and blue. The blue seems to be following Dictator Walz and whatever he decides is, God, great idea. You're doing a great job, Governor. Meanwhile, businesses are going under. They're skipping facts or ignoring the fact that most of the deaths from COVID-19 up here have been coming out of nursing homes. But Dictator Walz had a press conference yesterday, and it was a joke.
I heard that this morning when
It reminded me
Your
of
show.
MASH when Hawkman and Trapper went to Seoul and was watching some general or something had a press conference, and Trapper asked a question, and the guy danced around the question, And then the guys go, well, does anybody else got any questions? And Hawkeye goes, yeah. Why won't you answer his question? That's what his press conference was.
If only they would do that.
So you're saying that this press conference is probably as good of entertainment as when T-Bone's interns were sitting down at the clubhouse in years gone by to interview Joe Capietra after a loss. Which one's more entertaining, that or that?
Well, I would say the guys that were talking to Joe probably were more competent than the liberal media that was there yesterday. And that seemed to be all the media that was there was on the liberal side. So, yeah, I think some of your interns could have stuck Dictator Walz's feet to the fire a little better than what the media up here did.
The social media kind of fun because I send the bull curtain back. Joe's a sweetheart, a phenomenal guy. I love the guy to death, and he's couldn't be any nicer. But he doesn't like to lose. He's got a bit of a football mentality there, and oftentimes the worst part was my interns were they're all college kids. They're all college kids, and they're trying to learn on the fly a little bit. And I send them down there to the clubhouse on Facebook Live to interview Joe, and oftentimes after a win it's great, but after a loss, some of those entertaining, riveting facial expressions came from this Facebook Live where you've got a serious intern. He's trying to be serious, and Joe is like about to seriously explode. And some of the questions and his reactions on his face, and he never, he's a gracious guy. He never gets upset with these poor kids, but he's just like going, gosh, that's the dumbest question I've ever heard. So, but it always entertains the masses, and Kevin always gets a kick out of it to make sure that Joe doesn't lose it.
See, what Craig Kuhlman and I do once in a while, we'll both watch the show, and then we try to get screenshots right at the precise moment when Joel's just given that I wish I was just about anywhere else look.
Yeah, it's the old question, like,
changing
pictures, or it's always like, do you think of changing pictures there? And he's just like, well, of course I did, but these kids are just like, or they'll ask the generic question of how you feeling.
Yeah,
that's always the best one.
Really tough loss.
Was this a tough loss, Joe? How you feeling? And then
what do you think about the next series?
And you can kind of see him turn a little red, but he just kind of gets it off. So those are entertaining. But you're saying that Minnesota governor is a lot more entertaining, huh?
Yeah, and I feel bad for Joe because what's he supposed to say? Well, yeah, it sucks we lost, but I guess I didn't get kicked in the nuts by a mule. So, how do you make that entertaining and informative?
Yeah, well, again, it's good stuff. Those kids are funny, and some are better than others. I usually have a ringer that's really pretty good, and I've always got one or two that's still learning. And I told them, I go, write down 3 questions, make it simple for yourself. And inevitably they get down there. It's always the panic question. They panic. I've been there. I mean, Joe's got to deal with me 100 nights a year, and so I had to ask the same every night. He sees me coming. I got to do a radio show with the guy for 5 minutes every night. So how about another beverage choice?
Sure.
Thank you very much. Good to see Amy out there, Craig, Laura, Connie. We'll try to come to Indiana this summer, hopefully. Laura, good to see you. Rackham, Craig up in the big far north, and Amy here in the Metroplex. I thought just on a baseball standpoint, some of you folks that do follow the American Association, I thought you guys showed today, you and Rob Paneer, in this week of the association was really good stuff. I really thought that you brought some very interesting points. I think you guys are also right on. I'm with you. I told my wife this when we were this afternoon kind of chatting that you almost got to play. If you can have 100 people in the stands or 300 or 400, you almost got to play. And I think it's needed. I think it's a huge chance for the league and for baseball, because the big leagues are going to play regardless. You're going to see big league baseball no matter what. But maybe you have to get in the screen and look at the screen. There you go, closer to me. I think you like me. But I thought it was great stuff. Your thoughts on sports in general?
I was pretty impassioned on that show last night, wasn't I?
Yes, you were. I think you brought, but I mean, again, I get it because you're in a situation where I feel bad for the guys up in Manitoba because then that news was
horrible.
They may not play any sports until September, and that's coming. And I thought I followed what Rob Paneer wrote today this afternoon about the whole hockey angle that you want to watch a riot in Canada, a very calm people. They're about as calm as the Australians are.
Take away their hockey and they'll
you
be
take away their
monster.
hockey in the fall after already having it cut short. That could lose their minds up there.
But
Yeah, I
who
think
knows
that's
to
the
do?
irony is that it just happened as being not until September. Well, who starts in September? Oh, well, the Jets do.
Yeah. That's the way. Yeah, it's crazy. But Craig says, I'd love to see a best of Joe versus the against the intern highlight. But yes, I made to dig those up. That would take some time. But maybe what I'll do is this summer, Craig, I've got a staff of 8 that I've hired. I may have them go back through last year's archives and see what they can put together, because I guarantee you this is good stuff. What I'd like to do is shoot it with 2 cameras, one on the intern and one on Joe, and that'd be even better. And that may be something we could do this summer. That'd be hilarious. That'd be like have an outtakes at the end of the season, because there'll be some good ones. Because I can't remember the question. I'm paraphrasing, but it was one of those. How'd you feel after a tough loss? Well, it's like you asked the question, you answered it too. You know he didn't feel good after a tough. It was a tough loss, so you feel bad, right? What do you think he's going to say? Oh, I feel great. We lost a tough one. I mean, and those poor kids. I love them to death, but they are kids though. They're not old veterans like you and I.
It reminds me of the Chris Farley skit when he interviewed Paul McCartney.
What, I guess I missed that one.
Yeah, Chris Farley played a guy that was interviewing Paul McCartney and just asking the most obvious questions. And then after he'd ask the question, he'd like, oh, can't believe I asked this. Stupid.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yes, exactly. No, we had a guy in Australia. We had a guy in Australia, and I'll do the imitation. I won't say the name to protect the innocent, but
Exactly.
Paul Morgan knows the story. Who, by the way, I see Harold this morning up in Perth. Good morning, mate. He's having a little brekkie at about 10 till 7. 7 Western time. But there was a guy he'd call, and the manager's name was Steve Fish, and legendary Australian manager, good mate of mine, former Angels farmhand, Nebraska Cornhusker. Anyway, he'd go, Fish, and this side he'd phrase the question, Fish, a question about the game this weekend. If you score more runs than them, do you figure you're going to win? And that was the question. Those kind of questions. And we'd just sit there and go. We loved the exposure during drive time, but the question was like, it was like Mr. Obvious. Fish. Now, if you hit the ball well this weekend and score lots of runs, you figure you're going to win, right, eh? And then, and it's like, well, and Steve was always so gracious. He'd go, and he'd give a kind of a detailed baseball coach speak answer. But, he was shaking his head. And we would sit there, Paul and I would sit there listening to this because we'd line these interviews up with the local station there in Perth. And we'd be shaking our heads going, oh my gosh, they must think that he must think we're clueless, but he always got a chuckle out of it. Yeah, the Mr. Obvious questions though, that actually happens in the media sometimes. So Brad Allred, good to see you, buddy. And the Harold, as I mentioned a moment ago, yeah, Brad's doing all kinds of stuff. You see all the stuff Brad's doing?
Yeah, he's got that monster setup going on.
He's like a media mogul, not Brad Allred now. He's of course, the Cleveland Railroader broadcaster. But so, what's on for dinner tonight? You guys are grilling out. That's Friday. What's the dinner tonight?
We're having lasagna.
I'm just disappointed Brad didn't name the studios the LCRR Studios.
He did take names, didn't he? I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I thought LCRR was a shoo-in.
What did he name it? I don't even remember what he named it. I saw it, but I don't even know.
Oh boy, now I can't remember. Brad,
I don't know either. I don't know, but all good stuff though. Well, he's inspired me to actually. I ordered a piece of beer today, so I'm inspired. So we'll see how that works out for me.
This appearance today is brought to you by Smirnoff Ice.
So
I love Smirnoff Ice.
The liquor sales still to the roof in Minnesota.
Oh, incredible! 69% up yesterday alone.
You got to be kidding me!
No.
69% up.
Wow.
I'm in the wrong business, sir. I should have been the booze business. I was at one time in college. College, I was in the booze business.
Your dad used to be in the booze business.
Yes, he did. Off the rails. Off the rails, Brad.
That's cute.
Off the rails. I love it. I love it. Harold says we're almost a comatose nation. He says in Australia, but Australia, if I'm not mistaken, I had a conference call last night, a couple of mates in Perth, and Paul being one of them, and my mate Mike, and it sounds like just watching what's going on in Australia that they're going to be doing some trans-Tasman travel, which is what that means is New Zealand, Australia are going to be traveling back and forth because that's the most traveled air route internationally from Sydney and Melbourne is the flight between Auckland and Melbourne and Sydney. And that's good news. That's one thing. If they can start traveling between the two countries, that'll mean that things will start to open up in Australia. And right now, a lot of folks can't even travel from Perth to Sydney or back and forth. So it'll be good to see that right here in America. I noticed this today, that only 6% capacity for Southwest Airlines. That's it's kind of hard to do business when you got 6%. So you guys got big plans tonight, though. Anything streaming tonight? Anything I should be watching?
Well, I know Brad's got his Real Talk Live tonight, doesn't he?
Yes, they at 7. Yeah, at 7 o'clock. He and Denning have they did have that. I'll be tuning into that for a few minutes. Yeah, I've had a full day of listening to you guys, and
I want to make a plug for that really great show, All American. That's really good.
It's okay.
I like it.
It's good. It's campy. It's okay. There's a show on Netflix. It's good. I like. It's a different change of pace for us. I like it. Yeah, it's got a cool.
Based on a true story
it's a little campy, but yeah, I love Friday Night Lights, the TV show. So this reminds me a lot of that, except it's a different location in California where they play football, but not the same kind. I think it's 7 o'clock. Chase Simpson tonight, Brad says.
Oh, wow.
How about that? 7 o'clock. Tune in. Do not miss that one, huh? Hey?
Now, I got a question for GM.
Kevin.
What did you think of the wedding on Brockmire? Or I hope I didn't do a spoiler for you. I hope you had caught it the other night.
You totally spoiled it. I don't know. Who got married? Did he get married? Did he marry the girl finally?
Oh, yeah, I guess I did spoil it for you. But it was.
I haven't watched this season.
But it was under weird circumstances, so there is that.
I'm going to have to, that's going to have to be what I binge this weekend to get caught up. I love Brockmire.
What's his name? Hank Azaria?
Yeah.
He was on one of the entertainment shows a couple of nights ago, and he was doing the interview in both as Hank, and then he'd also every once in a while go into his Brockmire routine. It was pretty good, but apparently from what I saw of it is that he becomes commissioner in some kind of the new season. He becomes commissioner in some kind of futuristic league where there's some kind of epidemic or something very much like what we're going through today. So it was funny to watch him go in and out of character. He'd be from not much difference, but he still go from the Brockmire character back to himself and vice versa. So it was pretty good stuff. So I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, the series finale is.
I like it when he has Joe Buck on because I'm a big Joe Buck fan.
Well, that's I'm behind that show. I got into that show early on because it had so many. Again, we talked about this on Monday. How there were a lot of the St. Paul Saints are in there, and they use the team. I sent them I sent the production company that does that show an entire reel of 2017 season T-Bones games. I mean, they actually what they did was they let me know what games they wanted. Like I want July 20th. I want all the ones in the season. They kind of went to the American Association website, picked them out, and I sent the hard drive with all the games. They were able to use them, and I don't know how much they use, but Brad says, one more thing. Connor Ryan, I don't know why my chat's not working. It's driving me nuts today. Connor Ryan interview with Dave Nitz. I honestly missed that. I had it on my schedule. I will watch it a replay because I'm a big fan of Dave. Dave is a legendary broadcaster.
I'm a big fan of Dave.
But again, I was trying to improve this, which I didn't do a very good job of. But that was what I was working on. And then Brad, yes, you can always scoreboard you guys with your plans for Sunday because I ain't got no plans, mate. So you can tell me whatever you're doing. I'll live through you. Let me know what you're doing.
I tell you, whenever Sioux City was in St. Paul when Dave was broadcasting. You don't like a rain delay, but when Sioux City was in town and it was the long rain delay and it got to be Dave Nitt's story hour in the press box, there was nothing like it.
I lost my dad in 2016 March, and that was the last. Dave was there in 16 and 17, but I'd known Dave, going back to 13, and we'd actually run into each other years ago when he was the voice of the Shreveport Captains many, many moons ago. And I'd met him at the winter meetings. I didn't know him that well. I knew who he was. He's 3 hours from here, and Louisiana Tech would play SMU, so I kind of knew the voice and who he was. But anyway, long and the short of it was, that year my father died, and so it was really weird how it worked out. But we had several rain delays, and we're just flat out awful weather in Sioux City. And he and I would sit there from like 3 in the afternoon. We'd do our throw our lineup cards out, knowing we weren't going to probably play. And I had the best conversations with that guy, just sitting there for 45 minutes to an hour, just listening to what he would talk about and the advice and I look back on that because I would, I never really told him this, but how much it meant to me to have a guy kind of my dad's, wheelhouse that was a lot like him and give me some advice and just stories that I wasn't getting from my own dad. Because like I said, I just lost my dad before, but that was weird. That whole summer, she's right in the chair, by the way, babe, looking for the cat. But that one summer, it's like the good Lord knew I needed some rainouts to chat with Dave Nitz, and Dave and I had some great conversations, and it really got some great advice. Because especially now, there's a certain cookie cutter broadcaster type, and everybody does things a certain way, and he's old school all the way in a way that I was brought up, so all good. But Brad says he gets to play TPC Sawgrass on Sunday. I'm gonna pump a dozen balls in the drink on 17. Huh? That's what you're doing on Sunday, Brad? Well, yeah, absolutely. You can. That is awesome. I mean,
I've been Facebook Living those. Are you going to Facebook Live this one, Brad?
I don't know. Good to see Virginia. She's checking in as well. I've been okay. You got me beat there. I used to live in Jacksonville. I went to Ponte Vedra several times. Went to the that tournament several times, but never actually swung a stick on that club because if they wouldn't have let me. They don't let me on good golf courses. I can only play like in pastures. So, Kevin, are you a golfer? I don't even know this. Are you a golfer?
I never got into it. I'm regretting it right now because it's like one of the 2 things you can actually do in Minnesota right now legally. But no, I had the softball baseball swing, and it just doesn't relate well to golf. Matter of fact, my slice was so bad, I would take the bowling mentality, realize that all my shots are going to slice. So I would aim way off to the left, and that ball would kind of curve right back onto the fairway. That's probably not a recipe for success. And I just
you're like me then. I aim the way I aim, like instead of aiming straight in the fairway, I'll aim like left, so it'll hook or slice to the right or whatever. I used to just joke about this because back in the day, Rice University is a very good school to go to. Back in the old Southwest Conference, they were terrible in football. They would get the brain. They were like 0 for every year. I used to call myself the Rice of golf. And of course, they went to College World Series. So I had to quit calling myself that. But I was the Rice of golf at one time because they were always bad in sports. And I was always, I go to any kind of golf event, I was the guy you didn't want to play with because I was terrible. So
you were good in the putt-putt thing in Perth.
That was putt-putt. Putt-putt.
I think I beat you.
No, you didn't. I won the whole thing.
Oh.
Brad says exactly what he does. I wish my chat was working. Fly to Jacksonville in the morning. I wish I could, Brownie was watching earlier, and we have still some friends down there in Jax. It's changed quite a bit since I was down there, but Jacksonville, that was a fun place. And I know they just opened up.
All I think about is the good place. That kid was from.
Oh, yeah, from Jacksonville. Blake Bortles. But really I always loved going out to Jax Beach and just going out. There's a lot of small little pubs, but most of those have probably changed names by then or by now. But used to be all kinds of cool little odds and ends out the beach. And the beach there is also very, very, very wide. You got plenty of space there to kick it as well. But yeah, you'll enjoy that, Brad. Been a while since I was in Ponte Vedra. It's been years.
What are you doing in Jacksonville on Sunday?
Just flying down there. You know, I don't know. Did you his mom or
I'm curious.
Brad? You're not on the air, but what are you doing? On why? Who? What? Where? And why? I guess is why my wife's checking in on you,
Yeah, because
Brad.
nobody's flying these days, and he gets to fly to
Well,
Florida.
they're flying, but like I said earlier, only. And this was Southwest Airlines in the Dallas Morning News today. And I mentioned I saw Lori on earlier, who a longtime Southwest person, a great company, and they're based in Love Field here, which is the closest airport to us. And Americans based at DFW, the other airport, spend a lot of time there. I fly them. My wife flies Southwest, but only 6% of their plane traffic is what they've been running. 6%. But can you imagine flying 6% of any business, 6% of your traffic? I mean, it's
Even 25% of restaurants not good enough.
yeah. Brad's going. He's staying in St. Augustine, and has a cousin there. Oh, okay. Used to be a great restaurant. I don't know if it's still there. Saltwater Cowboys is in St. Augustine. It was a great place there on the Intercoastal. Really good place. And I don't know if it's still there. That a great, if you like oysters and that kind of stuff, their bucket of oysters, phenomenal, awesome. But I don't know if it's even still there. I used to go there all the time. But big win in the golf. Yes, big in the golf business. So enjoy that. Kevin, what's the weekend plan besides you guys gonna fire the grill up, right? The brats at some point.
You know, I am half tempted to just try to round up a bunch of people and have a party.
Yeah, don't
touch me.
Pull a Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah.
And heck with you.
There you go. Brad says he's got all the connections through his cousin, who's down there in St. Augustine. All good. Yeah, we're gonna try to. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do lasagna, not actually make it. We're doing it out of a box.
Because I can't cook.
And then we'll. We may do I need to do a cooking video and moving that to Sunday, perhaps doing a grilled Jacksonville style wing. Actually, Jacksonville is very famous back in the day for having they had wings all over the place down there. They were the first place I ever went that had grilled chicken wings, and they were phenomenal. Most sports bars where you had
out.
Where you going?
Huh?
Why my wife just left me at the altar here.
Not the altar.
So where you going?
I've got to go check on the
Okay. Well, yeah. You're cooking right. Oh, she's cooking right now.
I got to make the salad.
But Jacksonville was one of the only place first place I went to. Now you can put grilled wings almost anywhere, but the first place I went to that had grilled chicken wings, it was a place called Box Seats in West Jacksonville, and Chris Brown can attest. We'd go to this place, and it was phenomenal. The best grilled chicken wing, a healthy wing back in the 90s. How about that, Kevin? I'm gonna do that. I'll have a video posted for us on later on the week. So grilled chicken wings. How about that?
Tell you what, I'm gonna sign off. If Brad's still on, I'm gonna challenge him to join you on live right now. But I'm sure everyone's got mugs.
He's in show prep mode right now, probably. But all right, I need to shut down. I've been on the air so long, I'm boring myself. So I guess I better let you guys go. But you check in with me Monday, all right, mate? By the way, great stuff online. The podcast was great, bud. Have a great weekend. There he is. Yes, there you go. Enjoy my freedom. There he is. Kevin Lucco coming to us from just south of St. Paul, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Great mate of ours. Does great work. I listened to the podcast this morning. Very good stuff. Okay, again, at the top of the show, in case you missed it, we are in day number 41 here. Now, yes, a limited opening in Texas, but it doesn't mean the show is going to stop because we're all still very much – this thing's going to go on until A, we're back playing baseball with the T-Bones, or B, we're not doing life as we're doing it now. And right now, regardless if the restaurants are open and movie theaters can have 5 people in there, things ain't normal. So while that being said, we'll keep this up. So on Monday, but I want to do a couple of fun things on Monday. One thing, and I meant to tell Kevin this, I'm going to try to dig up some video. Hey, Joy Mall, there's my oldest out in Lubbock. Love you very much, kiddo. Hope you're doing well. She is a rock star. She is in the restaurant, not in the business full time. Well, yes, she is right now. She's going to grad school at Tech and be teaching English out there at the university in the fall. But she also works part time in the restaurant business. So today she's busy back at Orlando's out in Lubbock, being busy. I'm sure. But back to what I was saying, Monday, I'm gonna start bringing some bells and whistles in. Again, I appreciate you guys put up with the technical nonsense. I don't know what's going on, but the good news is a lot of you are going to be guinea pigs to some of the things I'm doing that will be maybe implemented down the road, either A, with the T-Bones or whatever. But just trying to spice up this live thing and do a fun job. And the fun thing about this is you would never, when I was in college and got out in 91, graduated, this didn't exist. I would never have thought of a world where I could produce my own content, my own show, sitting in a chair with limited effort. I mean, really, you can go on the air with your phone. You don't need a bunch of bells and whistles. You just go on the air with your phone. That's how easy it is these days to do that. I never would have thought that. So I'm going to be doing some adding. We may do some shots inside. We may, as we open things up. I think the first day I know I can get a seat at a pub, I'm going to take this thing down to Lower Greenville to my buddy's place and see my friend Little Joey, and we'll do a live happy hour, virtual live happy hour from somewhere down Lower Greenville in Dallas, which is where all the pubs and bars are. Not all of them, but one area it's got pubs and bars. So, hey, glad everybody joined us from all around. We had 2 countries today, Australia and Canada, plus the good old US of A. Actually 4. America, Australia, Canada, and Texas. All 4 today. All my mates in Kansas City. Love you guys. Miss you all. Everybody else here in Texas. Everybody. Love and miss everybody. Hope you're doing well. Get love and hug each other. We're going forward somehow, some way. That's all we can do. And it's been a crazy week here. Sad up and down week, but we're going to keep fighting on and keep plugging away and just have some fun and chat together and just keep being as positive as we can be going forward. So again, thanks for joining me wherever you are. Michael Dixon, good to see you as well. Michael, I need to reach out to Michael and get him on the T-Bone show as well. But again, thank you for being a part of this, because that means it's therapy for me, a chance to chat with you guys and just talk. And again, I'm usually in broadcast preparation mode for the season. Not going to happen for a while. So I got to scratch my itch somehow. This is the way I do it here in the patio on a virtual happy hour on a Friday. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as long as this thing is like it is, we'll do it. We'll talk it on Monday. Have a great weekend. We're gonna try to finish the show finish All American. We're gonna try this weekend Better Call Saul. Jump into that a little bit and a couple other shows as well. So maybe we'll have a little something more to report with you guys on Monday. Okay, put the happy hour sign up. There it goes. We're also going to put the close sign up. There it goes. We'll close this thing down for day number 41. And we'll do this again on Monday here from Texas. And we'll hope you'll join me wherever you are, either in Perth, Winnipeg, St. Paul, Kansas City, all points in between. We love you. Hope you're doing well. And again, God bless. And we'll see you guys. And by the way, Brad, have a great trip as well. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.